Lung metastasis, lung metastasis, lung metastasis.
Two million men in the U.S. are living with prostate cancer. Now, that's better than dying from prostate cancer. Catch it when it's localized, and your 5-year survival is practically guaranteed. But once it really starts spreading, your chances drop to 1 in 3. Thus, identification of modifiable factors that affect the progression of prostate cancer is something that deserves study. So, Harvard researchers took more than 1,000 men with early-stage prostate cancer and followed them for a couple years to see if there's anything in their diet associated with a resurgence of the cancer, such as spread to the bone. Compared to men who hardly ate any eggs, men who ate even less than a single egg a day had a significant 2-fold increase in the risk of prostate cancer progression. The only thing worse was poultry consumption, up to 4 times the risk of progression among high-risk men. They think it might be the cooked meat carcinogens, the heterocyclic amines, that for some reason build up more in chicken and turkey muscles than in other meats. But what about the eggs? Why would less than once-a-day egg consumption double the risk of cancer progression? It may be the choline. A plausible mechanism that may explain the association between eggs and prostate cancer progression is high dietary choline. Egg consumption is the determinant of how much choline you have in your blood, and higher blood choline has been associated with a greater risk of getting prostate cancer in the first place, so the choline in eggs may both increase one's risk of getting it and then having it spread, and also having it kill you. Choline intake and the risk of lethal prostate cancer. Choline consumption is associated with not just getting cancer and spreading cancer, but also significantly increased risk of dying from it. Those that ate the most had a 70% increased risk of lethal prostate cancer. Another recent study found that men who consumed 2.5 or more eggs per week, that's just like 1 egg every 3 days, had an 81% increased risk of lethal prostate cancer. Now, it could just be the cholesterol in eggs that's increasing fatal cancer risk, but it could also be that choline. Maybe that's why meat... Pritikin's work has continued through his research foundation, which has really done some elegant work. They put people on different diets, drip their blood on cancer cells growing in a petri dish, and then just stand back and see whose blood is better at suppressing cancer growth. They were among the ones that published that study showing the blood of those on a vegan diet was dramatically less hospitable to cancer. Even the blood of those on the standard American diet fights cancer. If it didn't, everyone would be dead. It's just that the blood of those eating vegan fights about 8 times better. The blood of those on the standard American diet slows cancer growth down about 9%. Put people on a plant-based diet for a year, though, and their blood just tears it up. The blood circulating within the bodies of vegans has nearly 8 times the stopping power when it comes to cancer cell growth. Now, this was for prostate cancer, the most common cancer among American men, followed by lung, then colon. In women, it's breast cancer, then lung and colon. So the Pritikin researchers tried duplicating the study with women using breast cancer cells instead. Now, they didn't want to wait a whole year to get the results, though, so they figured they'd see what the diet could do in 2 weeks. First, they took samples of blood to get a baseline, and then they asked a dozen women to eat a plant-based diet for 14 days. Then they took a second sample of blood from those same women at the end of the 2 weeks, so they'd kind of serve as their own controls. Now, it was time to pit breast cancer cells against the defenses of these women before and after eating healthy.